Welcome to 100 Yards of Football this morning. It's our college football game preview as we highlight the number one team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on the Missouri Tigers. So if you like the video this morning, please come in and share it. We have a new guest that's joining us this morning. He has his own platform that's doing real well. It's called 20 East Media Sports. He's very controversial. I've had an honor to know this young man over the last 3 weeks. And his platform, let me tell you about this platform. They get out of it. And he loves them Georgia Bulldogs. His name is Amos Williams. So before I bring him up, one more time, if you like the video today, please come in and share it and get ready for the magic carpet ride because we're going to go to another level. So, Mr. Amos Williams, thank you, man, for coming on 100 Yards of Football this morning. The Georgia Bulldogs is your favorite team, the number one team in the country. So tell us, first and foremost, before we break down the Missouri game, why is Georgia number one this year, and why is Kirby Smart got things rocking over there in Athens?
Well, first of all, it's an honor to be here. I want to thank you for inviting me onto your platform, Vincent. Like I said, man, you was an inspiration to me, man. I've been watching you for a while, and it's an honor to be here with you. You're one of the greats on social media, brother. You were one of the original pioneers.
Yes, sir.
Georgia is different this year because it's more about the chemistry. The chemistry is totally different, Vincent. It's in the past, it was more about me, I. Now it's more about brotherhood. These brothers, when they go out of that tunnel, they're going out not just as a team, but they're going out as brothers, as family. And it's not like, if you look at it, especially the defense, you don't have one person that stands out above the rest. You know, even though they talk a lot about Jordan Davis and the Heisman or whatever, but all of them look at each other as brothers, equal brothers. And the chemistry is just sick this year. It is crazy. And that is the difference. All right. Kirby he's more focused than he has been in the past. The mistakes that he made in the past, and a lot of people got to remember, the man is in his 6th year as a head coach. 6th year. He's accomplished more in 6 years than a lot of the greats accomplished in their 6 years. You go back to Paul Bear Bryant. You go back to Woody Hayes. You go back to Bud Wilkinson. You know, you go back to Nick Saban, New Rockne, you know, Bobby Bowden in his 6th year did not have the number one ranked team in the nation in the early part of November. So, you know, this man, although he learned from the best, it was some things that he had to get out on his own and learn on his own by running his own program. Because as you know, Vincent, a lot of the assistants that came under that Saban tree did not pan out. Derek Dooley, Jim McElwain, you know, they didn't pan out. Will Muschamp, a lot of them never panned out. But the ones that did, like Jimbo, Kirby, they had to get their foot in the door, learn how to run a program, and they became successful in the process.
Another question I want to ask you right quick before we get into the game on Saturday. The quarterback controversy. Stetson Bennett and JT Daniels. Now, I want you to do something for me. Keep it real.
I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it all the way real.
Can Stetson Bennett leave Georgia to a national championship? And if they end up playing Alabama in the SEC championship game, will he be enough for them to get over the top against teams like Alabama or Oklahoma or Ohio State or even Oregon?
Well, you may say,
do we need to go back to JT Daniels? That's all I'm asking right now, Mr. Williams.
Okay, well, what I want to say to all of my Georgia fans out there that are saying, well, we can't do anything without JT Daniels. It has to be JT Daniels or bust. As I was pointing out in my podcast the other day, JT Daniels in his college football career has not really faced a top 10 defense. And I'm going back to the USC, the games he played at USC, the games he played last year. He saw Mississippi State, he saw South Carolina, he saw Missouri, and he saw Cincinnati. Cincinnati was a top 10 defense, okay? But they played in the All-American Conference, all right? That defense was not playing week after week against SEC offenses. You follow me? Now, this year, Clemson, all right? I mean, you've had this discussion about Clemson. Clemson ain't what they used to be, okay?
But they're still good defensively now.
They're still good defensively, but they gave up some points. Remember, they lost in overtime to North Carolina State, okay? North Carolina State, all right? Stetson has seen Auburn twice. That Tennessee defense last year, okay, was pretty good. All right, I remember you doing the pregame show for Georgia and Tennessee in 2020, and you predicted Tennessee to beat Georgia simply because Tennessee had a pretty good defense in 2020. I keep receipts, brother. I keep receipts.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Now, so, and then Stetson saw Florida last year, which Florida's defense was better last year than it is this year. Okay, they're not chopped liver this year, but they had a better defense last year. And remember before he went out with that injury, Georgia was leading 14-0. Okay, now for those that are saying Stetson, it's impossible for him to be the starter and beat Bama. Remember, Bama went down to College Station and lost to Texas A&M. All right? Kelly Mond was not the quarterback. Johnny Manziel was not the quarterback that night. Texas A&M had a backup quarterback with a bum leg that put up almost 400 yards of passing on that Tide defense. All right? As good as this Bama team is this year, and they are the number 2 ranked team this year, they're not what they've been the last 5 years. So if push come to shove, can Stetson be put in it? Georgia does not need Stetson to win the game for them, Vincent. They just need him to play the game, manage the game, kind of like Jay Barker did in 92 for the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right. Kind of like Craig Krenzel did in 2002 for Ohio State, brother. All right. Kind of what Brooke Behringer, did I pronounce his name right? Brooke Behringer did for the 94 Nebraska team.
Yes, sir.
All right. They went, if you remember, Vincent, they went into a pivotal game late in the year with Colorado to play for the Big 8, back then, the Big 8 championship. All right. A lot of people say, oh, he ain't going to be able to do it. Nebraska, they were going to need Tommy Frazier to pull this off. Went in there and defeated Colorado and took them to the national championship game. And he played most of that first half against that Miami team. Remember that same Miami team that had big play Ray Lewis and had Warren Sapp. Okay?
Let's go to Saturday, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia versus Missouri. What does Georgia have to do to keep this number 1 ranking this going into Saturday's game?
Well, they're gonna have to go in. Kirby has said this a lot. We're not practicing to beat somebody, we're practicing to beat everybody. The same intensity that they brought in for Clemson, the same intensity that they practiced with to prepare for Kentucky, the same intensity that they walked into Sanford Stadium with to play Arkansas, and that same intensity that they walked into Jacksonville to play Florida last Saturday in that revenge tour game. They got to walk in with that same intensity for Missouri, because you know and I know, Vincent, the SEC is any given Saturday, okay? And what happened to Bama in College Station can happen to any team on any given Saturday, especially during that 12 o'clock hour, brother. Anything can happen. I've seen some strange things happen in that 12 o'clock hour of college football, Ask Penn State 2 weeks ago. 12 o'clock at home in Happy Valley, Illinois. No one gave Illinois a chance in HELL to go into Happy Valley and beat Penn State. And look what happened. 9 overtimes later, upset.
I'm going to say this as I ended with my final words about the University of Georgia and their season this year. Thank you to Mr. Amos Williams. As you see, he's very passionate. He's got the history knowledge down, and he knows about his Georgia Bulldogs. The one thing about Georgia, I keep saying all along, the defense is at another level. I keep comparing them to the 91 Washington Huskies, baby. Steve Edmond, DeMarco Farr, Walter Bailey, Dana Hall. Man, that defense puts me in the mind of that. And another thing I've been very impressed with Georgia, they have not given up 13 points in any game this year, and they only allowed 6 points. And to me, as I did my video this morning, I had my players of the week, Nakobe Dean, from my area, the 901 by way of Horn Lake, Mississippi. I don't think there's no linebacker in the country right now playing at its highest level. So my final word, I give it over to Mr. Amos Williams before I come back with my final word. Final words about your Georgia Bulldogs, my brother.
Hey, we're going to go out and take care of business as usual. We're not thinking about rankings. The only ranking that matters is that ranking that comes out January the 11th, the day after the national championship game. That's the only ranking that we care about right now. So everyone else under us that's fighting over who should be 2, 3, 4, we don't care about that. We're just trying to beat and destroy everything out in our path to get to Lucas Oil Stadium and claim our crown.
Well, my final words about the Georgia Bulldogs. They got a great season going on. I hope Bulldog Nation is taking a page out of the team that won the World Series last night, the Atlanta Braves. We broadcasting live from the Metro Atlanta area this morning. And so all I can say, when I think about the Bulldogs and I think about the passion with the Dog Nation, with Mr. Amos Williams, one of my other good friends, Joseph Taylor, and all the dog fans here in Douglasville, Georgia, I think about this young man, James Brown, that's from Augusta, Georgia. He had a song that went like this: "Say it loud, I'm black and out proud." Well, this morning, I'm bringing the energy and the love because I got a gentleman, Mr. Amos Williams, who loves the dog. So I'm going to say this as the final words here on 100 Yards Football, and to my producer, Mr. Jeremiah Long, for making it happen for us this morning. Say it loud, I'm Georgia proud. Say it loud, I'm dog proud. I'm the number one team in the nation. Lord have mercy. If Georgia handles their business in Lucas Oil Stadium in January, it's going to be a party like they're going to have on Friday for the
Vincent, if you think this party Friday going to be something, let them dogs win in Lucas Oil on January the 10th. Y'all ain't seen partying. That party going to go from Athens to Clayton County, brother.
If you like the video today, please come and share it. I'd like to say thank you to my special guest from 20 East Media Sports, Mr. Amos Williams. And once again, thank you to our producer, Mr. Jeremiah Long, for making it happen. We are 100 Yards Football. Y'all have a blessed day.